Hello guys and welcome back to SWTOR Central, and this video is going to be some future speculation of Star Wars The Old Republic. Okay, so I do apologise if this video is kind of long, but there is a bunch of things that I want to go over. I want to talk about Chapter 16, I want to talk about new raids, possible group content, more endgame. I want to talk about why there's no more news about the future content just yet. I also want to talk about the Eternal Throne expansion, along with a bunch of other stuff that comes along with those topics. Okay, so before we begin, I just want to say a quick thank you to Eric Musker for retweeting my review My Strongholds video. If you haven't checked it out just yet, then make sure you go check it out. I've got prizes going on, it's going to be awesome. But yep, thank you very much, Musker, for retweeting that for me. A bunch of people came and watched it, and I got a ton of followers too, so that was really awesome of you. I also want to congratulate SWTOR TV on breaking the milestone of 2,000 subscribers. If you don't know who SWTOR TV is, then make sure you go check out his channel. I will leave a link to his channel in the description below. Okay, so anyone who has not played through Knights of the Fallen Empire, I suggest you do not continue watching because there are going to be some very heavy spoilers. Okay, so for those of you who have played up to Chapter 15 and are now waiting on Chapter 16's arrival, you will surely know that Scorpio has usurped the Eternal Throne because she is super sly. She is super sly Gemini. That should be a new phrase. Let's make that a thing, guys. Yeah, she totally stole the throne while Arkan and Vaylin were on their way to come and destroy us, so to speak, and yet they arrived just a little bit too late and we managed to escape them. Which means once again we did not get to face Arkan or Vaylin in combat. I have been waiting for my shot at Arkan again since Chapter 9. Now, in light of these things that happened, there are a few things I wanted to talk about. Okay, so Scorpio taking over the Eternal Throne. What the hell? I totally did not expect that. That was some crazy stuff that happened. Like, she completely fooled everybody. Like, she totally used the other Gemini droid as a patsy. She was awesome. She planned that out very well. Now, with taking over the Eternal Throne, she now has command of the Eternal Fleet. Probably the most deadliest force in the galaxy that is known at the moment. Pretty sure this fleet would give the Death Star a run for its money. Okay, so I have questions. I have questions. What is Scorpio's motive? Where is Valkorion? And is Valkorion vicious? Is he actually vicious? Okay, so as for Scorpio's motives, I am at a complete dead end because I really don't see her as a homicidal artificial intelligence. She believes herself superior to everybody and everything else, so being in a position that she's in now, she would be able to enforce that superiority, but I do not believe that she is some homicidal psychopath who is just going to go around killing everyone. I don't believe that she will do that. Honestly, I don't know what else will happen beyond that, so I'm at a complete dead end there. If anybody else has some sort of speculation on that, then please let me know, because honestly, I'm at a complete dead end. I do not know. However, I do have some thoughts on whether Valkorion is actually the former emperor that we know as Vitiate. So I have two sides of thinking to this. Obviously one where he is vicious and one where he isn't vicious. Let me explain why I would think that he is not vicious. Okay, so think back to Ziost. What happened on Ziost, along with what happened in the ending of Shadow of Revan. So in the ending of Shadow of Revan, we saw Vitiate's essence or life force emerge from the temple on Yavin 4 as he fed from the depths of the war between the Revanites and the Republic and the Empire. Now, this right here is a very critical thing to remember. Vitiate feeds from death. He gains his strength from other people's demise. He grows stronger with every person that dies, so to speak. Now, think of what happened on Ziost. Vitiate went to Ziost and he completely took over the planet within a matter of days, if not just one day. He completely consumed the minds of Sith Lords, Jedi Masters, and used them for his own will. He manipulated everything on that planet. He brought the planet Ziost to its knees, and then he brought it to its end. He wiped out pretty much all the life on Ziost and drained all of that life energy into himself, making himself stronger. Now, Vitiate told us that he wanted to leave us alive. He wanted us to watch as he consumed the galaxy, so that we would be the only people left, so that we could witness his victory. Vitiate is completely hell-bent on destroying all life in the galaxy. This is one of the massive differences between Valkorion and Vitiate. So, after the events of Ziost, Vitiate left. Nobody knows where he went. Nobody knows why he went. Nobody knows what his next plan of action is. The next thing we know, the Zakuul hit us, and they hit us very hard. Our beloved villain Darth Maul gets completely destroyed by Valkorion. He actually displays the same amount of power as what Vitiate did against the Jedi Masters in the Jedi Knight storyline with his huge lightning burst, but except this time it was deadly and he killed Darth Maul in one blow. At this point, depending on whichever choice you made, either Arcann will kill Valkorion or you will kill Valkorion. Either way, Valkorion ends up seeping into you and using your body as a host. The only thing is, we maintain control of our own body still. However, depending on other decisions that you make, Valkorion may force you to do certain things if you choose to use his power. And here is my point. Where is Vitiate? Where is Vitiate? When we meet Valkorion, he does not say that he is Vitiate. In fact, throughout the entire Knights of the Fallen Empire story, he has not once admitted to being Vitiate. In fact, the only reference that was made was, I believe, in Visions of the Dark, where our character talked about wiping out all the life on Ziost, and Valkorion actually responded to it. You could use this as confirmation of him being Vitiate, but I'm still not 100% convinced. I'm still on the fence. Okay, so let's just satisfy the thought that Valkorion is Vitiate. Why did he do everything else? And why has he not mentioned it? These are just the questions I feel need to be answered. I feel like there needs to be a full-on confirmation that Valkorion is Vitiate, because otherwise I'm not sure if I can let this go, guys. The way the story's gone down is really good, but honestly, I think there needs to be some confirmation on what's going on with Vitiate and Valkorion. What kind of connection is there? Okay, so this little thought that I had, I thought it was pretty interesting, and it would probably annoy a lot of people if this was the case, but you know, why not? Let's throw this in there. I thought it'd be pretty cool. What if, when we were put into the Carbonite chamber, we never came out? What if we are still in the Carbonite chamber to this day? What if at the end of all the story, we wake up in the Carbonite chamber and the Empire and Republic totally kicked ass and just wiped out the Zakuul and saved us? Like, how would that be for a turn of events? I think that would be pretty cool. But again, yeah, that would definitely annoy a lot of people. So now if we actually get on to talking about what I think will actually happen in Chapter 16, what I think is going to happen is there will finally be a confrontation between us and Arcann, or there will possibly be some form of betrayal between Vaylin and Arcann, and maybe Vaylin will kill Arcann for us. We're probably going to find out what Scorpio is doing with the Eternal Throne. Is she going to be able to defend that throne? I'm not quite sure. I kind of get the feeling we'd be able to take it from her pretty easily, but then again, we couldn't take it from Arcann, but we did get close. So ultimately, what I believe will happen is we'll have this confrontation with Arcann, and that is going to be the climax of Chapter 16. And then during the end of the new chapter, it's going to transform into the next expansion. And then hopefully we get a huge teaser, which is going to be absolutely awesome. So do I think that they will introduce new raids or group content or more endgame with Chapter 16 just so we have something to do until the expansion comes out? My answer to this is a big fat no. They introduced the Light versus Dark event, and this is going to be our filler until the next expansion. Now, I was looking around on Reddit and on YouTube, and I was listening to people's reasons as to why there has been no new group content, so to speak, except the Eternal Championship, along with new operations. Basically some solid endgame. Now, one thing that stood out to me in particular was Volk's opinion on why there are no more operations. Now, I really hope he doesn't mind me talking about this. I'm sure he doesn't. But in what I got from Volk's video, he basically says that he believes there has been no new operations because 16-man operations are a slideshow. The engine is a problem, the FPS is a problem, it's practically unplayable. While yes, this is very much true, however, this has always been true. That ship sailed a long time ago. Now, if this were true and that they were not creating new operations because of FPS problems or engine problems, then they wouldn't have introduced a new Warzone, which is also 16-man, because that would defeat the purpose of not bringing out a new operation for the exact same reason. I don't really know why they're not bringing in new operations. Nobody really knows why, only BioWare knows. Maybe they're planning something huge, or maybe they've got huge update coming with the next expansion. You know, who knows? Nobody really knows. But what we should take in from this is that they are 100% going to bring new operations. They will bring new operations, it's just not anytime soon. It's basically a TBA, to be announced. They will definitely come, it's just a matter of patience. As for group content, again, it's a no, and I'm only bringing this up again because we have the Eternal Championship. Now, not everybody counts this as group content because it is soloable and not many people class anything soloable as also group content. However, it is still group content nonetheless, as confusing as this all is. So we're pretty much just going to have exactly what we have now at the end of chapter 16. Alright, so let's talk about the next expansion, Knights of the Eternal Throne, as it has been announced. It is coming this fall, and people suspect it's going to be here just as the Light vs. Dark event ends. Now, a lot of people are complaining about not getting much more than a picture. Now, let me tell you why they are not releasing anything else. We are still only on chapter 15. Chapter 16 has not yet been released. They cannot release any more information about the next expansion until chapter 16 has been and gone, because otherwise it's going to completely spoil what happens. You wouldn't see Disney teasing episode 9 before they even released episode 8, would you? I mean, this is common sense, guys. It's logical. You can't really complain about it because we need to go through chapter 16 yet. Just have a little patience, it'll come eventually. The expansion's not even coming yet anyway, so what are you getting so fussed about? However, this teaser poster that we got is awesome. This is actually my new desktop background, is that cool? So in this poster, we see two people facing each other, looking like they're about to start murdering each other. It looks like they're on a battleground, you know, there's a downed ship in the background, there are bodies on the floor, there is fire everywhere. The landscape looks really cool, by the way. I don't know who does the artwork on these things, but it's absolutely phenomenal. Now, when I looked at this the first time, I looked at it and I saw Senya, and I wasn't quite sure who was on the left. I looked on the right and I was like, hey, that's Senya. That's awesome. So Senya's definitely going to be in the next expansion, of course, so maybe she plays a more important role this time. Now, maybe I've been thinking too much into this poster, but here is what I'm taking from it at the moment. Now, I've zoomed in on this picture of what we believe to be Senya, and I've been looking at it all the time, like seriously. And every time I look at it, I just don't see Senya anymore. I completely refuse to believe that this is Senya in this poster. This person looks way too young. As far as I know, we've not seen any other knight wearing this same uniform as Senya. So I'm assuming that any rogue knight is going to be wearing the same uniform as Senya, which leads me to believe that this other person that we see in this picture here is in fact another rogue Zakuul knight. Now the person on the left, people suspect that this is Vaylin, but honestly, I don't think that this is a chick, I think that this is a dude. It is just the way that these two are portrayed against each other, and the way that they have shown them off in this manner really makes me believe that they are not just teasing the next expansion, they are teasing new features. Now bear with me please guys, because honestly I would love for this to be true and it would be so amazing. This person on the left, I have never seen anybody make that kind of stance in Star Wars The Old Republic, with their hands out looking like they're about to unleash some serious force beatdown, and then we have what appears to be a rogue knight at the other side, which could be Senya, could be not. I honestly believe, guys, that they are teasing two new classes. I believe that this is two new classes. Now, I'm probably wrong, okay? So don't get your hopes up because I'm probably wrong. But I'm looking at this and I see two new classes. I see a rogue knight and I see some kind of force manipulator. I'm not sure. This is just, I look at this and this is just what I see now. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, SWTOR Central, what the hell are you talking about? How could they introduce two new classes and how would that fit with the storyline? Well, I actually have a pretty reasonable explanation. Think about it. Scorpio has just taken over the Eternal Throne. The Zakuulan Knights are there to protect the Eternal Throne and whoever sits on it. Now, I'm assuming a big part of the reason as to why the Zakuul Knights stayed loyal to Arkin is because he sat on the Eternal Throne and he had all the power. Now that Scorpio is in charge, there is no way that she will keep the Zakuulan Knights, and there is no way that the Zakuulan Knights will stay for Scorpio. So they will no doubt leave and either become rogue or possibly scamper back to Arkin, which I don't really see happening, to be honest, because he was a tyrant. I think they will kind of go a different way. So they could definitely introduce a storyline, you know, new expansion, you start as a Zakuulan Knight in Knights of the Eternal Throne, Chapter 1. The prologue could be you're escaping Scorpio's wrath or something, you know, she's out there trying to kill the rest of the Zakuulan Knights on Zakuul. You're fleeing and then you maybe get to choose, do you want to go to the Alliance or do you want to go to Arkin and maybe side with them? Who knows, honestly. They could definitely pull that off. That would be awesome. And if it was to be like a choice-based thing, if you was to like choose to go with the Alliance, maybe you'd be a rogue knight. and maybe if you was to choose to go back to Arkan, he decides to train his knights better and use the Force a lot better, and you become some kind of manipulator instead of a rogue knight. Do you kind of see where I'm going with this? Because this kind of would fit with the storyline. You know, it could be like a start at level 65 type thing. Think of like what they did with the Death Knight in World of Warcraft. Kind of like that. And suddenly you're a little more open to the idea. Or maybe I'm just plain wrong and I'm just utterly stupid for thinking this, which, to be honest, is probably going to be the case. So please do not get your hopes on this. I just honestly think that this is maybe what they are doing. Okay guys, that's going to conclude this video. Apologies again for the length, but I had a lot to get through and I really want to express some of my thoughts. Please let me know what you think about this video. What do you think about some of the points I made? And more importantly, what do you think? Last time I asked you what do you think will happen in chapter 16. This time I'm asking, what do you think is going to happen after chapter 16? Where do you think Knights of the Eternal Throne will take us? Now here at the end of the video, which is a bit of a weird place to do this, I really want to thank you guys for 5,000 subscribers. I didn't do it just yet, but I'm going to do it now, so yeah, there you go. Thank you very much for 5,000 subscribers, guys. It is absolutely incredible as always, and I can never thank you guys enough. And for all of those people who have watched this all the way to the end, I have hidden 2 codes in this video. Now I didn't mention this at the beginning because I know the loyal people are going to stay to the end. So here you go guys, go hunting through this video. I have left 2 codes hidden in this video for 450 cartel coins each. Happy hunting, and as always, I will catch you in the next one.